everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Camp Confidence Radio.
Welcome back mga madam. Napapahaba every episode yung radio ni Madam Rizza. But yes, happy Halloween. So kakatapos lang ng Halloween, which is why we have the topic that we have today.
Ang ating topic for today bilang RAR tayo. We will be talking about fears for today's video. I know medyo vulnerability at its finest tayo for today, but we'll try to keep it light and maraming tips and tricks. Tricks talaga, just so we could treat you with this and just so we could treat you with this Camp Confidence episode, mga madams.
Diba?
Ayan.
Walang script yan. Pero ang dami niyang pa-segue sa mga Halloween, whatever. So may mga tips and tricks kami para i-treat kayo.
RAR.
to hopefully RAR help you with overcoming fear. So actually, as we were brainstorming about this episode, na-realize ko, madam, ang dami ko palang fears. Pero what I realized is, even though I do have a lot of fears, hindi ako takot magka-fear. Gets mo ba? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like parang, it's just part of being human. It's not really something that I treat na in a very special way, na parang, it's this huge part of my life. It's like, okay. It's just part of being human. It's there. It exists. And it will always exist.
Totoo. Tsaka it's our body's natural way of telling us. Kasi it's our brain's fight or flight mode. Na parang when you're scared, when you fear things, it means your brain is protecting you from something. Right? So, ayun, it's a normal thing. It shouldn't be parang shunned na parang ganon. But, ang exciting part na discuss natin today, madam, also, is how do we live with our fears? Paano ba tayo nabubuhay kahit takot tayo? How do we push through our fears kahit, kunwari, meron tayong importanteng kailangan gawin pero takot tayo? Paano ba natin siya na-overcome? Ayan.
Oh my gosh. I guess we can start with our past fears that we've successfully overcome. Or maybe not even overcome. We've just learned to live with them.
Correct.
So, do you want to start, madam? Anong fear ang meron ka na you know now how to live with?
Ako, isa sa mga nag-struggle ako before was my fear of not being accepted or loved by a group. Ganyan. Parang,
a group?
Or anyone. Ganon. Kasi I've always been parang yun nga, tahimik ako, ganyan. Parang hindi naman din ako yung life of the party. Pero ayoko din naman na sobrang secluded ako. Ganon. Na parang gusto ko may pumapansin pa rin sa akin. Pero tas nung akala ko dati I wasn't pretty, no one would love me, walang magkaka-crush sa akin, mga ganon. Alam mo yung, I'm thinking high school pa. Yung high school Rizza. So parang, I was a nerd, nandyan sa gilid, just study uwi. Tapos parang, wala lang, nung nagkaroon ako ng first love, ganyan. Tapos parang, talaga, really? Ganyan. Tapos parang, I felt like, para ma-please, as a people pleaser talaga nung high school. Parang as in, ako yung nag-conform sa standards. Na parang, para maging cool, ganito ka dapat. Parang sobrang wala pa yung notion ko ng kebs to the world natin, mga madams. As in, may pake ako sa sasabihin ng iba. May pake ako sa, alam mo yun, hindi ko rin alam. I guess, I aged. I had wisdom. Kaya ako siya na-overcome. Parang na-realize ko na, hey, this is me. Kung kung hindi nyo ako magugustuhan, di wag. Ganon. Parang, I think na it was a muscle na kailangan kong i-work out. Na yung maging walang pake sa sasabihin ng iba. Kasi mahirap yun madam. Up until now syempre may pake pa rin ako sa sasabihin ng iba. Pero pinipili ko na lang yung mga tao na papakinggan ko.
Yeah. Kasi, I mean, that's part of growing up. It's just, I guess, simula nung, if you look at it from when we were in high school, kasi talagang we were in a group setting, ang dami mo araw-araw kasama. So it's actually quite normal to want to belong. But then as you grow older, you get the opportunity to be selective of who you surround yourself with. Parang once you are out of that system, out of college, out of high school, all of a sudden, ikaw na bahala kung sino yung kasama mo. And it really is like a life-changing moment na you realize na, oh, you don't have to deal with everyone. You don't have to deal with everyone's opinions as opposed to back when we were there studying and being a part of this huge group. But I had the same fears as you, madam, except I guess I was hit with it more suddenly. Kasi ako, parang, as an extrovert, I love being in big groups, ganyan. But when I was out of college na, I was 22, that's when I learned na I had people talking behind my back pala. And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, I don't actually have these people as friends. And it really gave me this huge trust issue that I guess to this day I still carry with me. I carry the fear of having to be around people who don't necessarily like me. And I'm like, ayoko. But how do we work through those fears?
Ako, ano ba? Talagang mindset training talaga siya na you are your unique self. As cheesy as this might sound, pero yun talaga parang yung kailangan mong tanggalin lahat ng mga clutter in your head na mga sinasabi ng iba. As in categorizing everything na parang ito yung sinasabi nila sa akin, totoo ba to? Kailangan ko bang pakinggan sila? Or alam mo yun, lalo kapag may mga traiduran nang nangyayari. Are they relevant to my life? As in, total declutter talaga of your head, mental space, and minsan friends Minsan friends, minsan family members, may mga ganon talaga. It happens. Just to protect you and your mental health and yourself eventually. Tapos na-realize ko na now that I'm aging, now that I have more wisdom, parang sino ba tong mga taong piniplease ko? To the point na hindi na ako masaya. Na hindi na ako.
And do you even like them in the first place? Parang why are you so concerned? And you don't even, I mean, you know, they're not even relevant in your life. So why are you trying to please them? I saw this one TikTok. Dami natin tututuan sa TikTok. But basically, this girl was talking to her therapist and they came out with this like 80-20 rule. And what it says is 20% of people will not like you. And that's just automatic. It's just the truth na parang, okay, out of the 100 people that you'll meet, 20 of them will not like you, period. And once you know that statistic na parang, okay, it's easier to lump people into a group na parang, okay, that's fine. They don't like you. Parang that's just normal. You don't have to take it personally na there are really people who will not jive with your energy, who will not be, you know, wala ganun talaga. Some people, ganun na talaga. The same way na we don't necessarily get along with everyone or we don't automatically become besties with everyone. Ganun din sila sa atin. And I think when you look at it that way, for example, you get a harsh comment or whatever, it's just, okay, they're the 20%, that's fine. But then you look at all the other people who are supportive, who are there, who are nice to you, who treat you with kindness, and you realize that there's so much more. Talagang 80, sila yung 80%, and you focus on getting along and being there for the 80%. which is a nice thing to think about.
Oo nga, no? Oo nga. Parang automatic na. Oh, that's nice.
Did
That's
you
really nice.
see, madam, yung mga 'di ba sa YouTube analytics, meron tayong number of likes. Do you ever check the ratio of the like versus dislike ng videos?
Yes. I do, pero ano talaga, yun nga, dahil nga siguro na-develop ko na yung skill na kebs to the world, siguro I was introduced sa YouTube world na nandun na yung state ko, na medyo wala na talaga akong pake. So parang okay lang, no problem. E di kung ayaw mo diwag, you're not my target market. Ay!
Ang bongga. Well, because when I started YouTube, madam, it's still difficult. So, nakakatawa because these are actual numbers. When I see, oh my gosh, 98%, to me, that's like, there's one person who doesn't like it. Tapos, alam mo yun, may kaba ako na parang, 98% lang, hindi 100%. Parang ako, my gosh, that's not realistic to have 100% of people, liking your videos.
Totoo.
Parang,
Tsaka-
meron talaga magdi-dislike.
Tsaka just in case man, may mga nakikinig dito na tumitingin din ng YouTube analytics like us. At least, kunwari sa mga videos mo na maraming dislikes, at least you know through data na hindi na yun yung sunod mong gagawing video. Right?
Oh.
Parang, at least ganon. Ganon na lang siguro natin siya i-treat na, okay, hindi ito gusto ng target market ko or ano kayang pwedeng video. Parang, syempre kasi when you create videos, when you create content, you're also experimenting Right?
Yeah. And I think it's the same, madam, with business.
Correct.
When we get reviews, we get feedback, it's data. It's so hard not to take things personally, especially if you're so personally invested in a lot of the things that you do, that you work on. But that's a nice way to reframe things as well, to look at things as data. Na parang, okay, that wasn't an attack for me. They weren't trying to attack me. It was just, okay, their experience, which is valid, and as a creator, a service provider, as a business owner, I guess it's a good way to also step back and realize now, okay, not about you. It's not about you. So let it be.
I would definitely say that's also one of my fears na hindi ko nalista pala. Yung mga bad comments, mga ganyan, mga
Bad reviews.
bad reviews. Kasi whether you like it or not, may mga tao talaga na hindi magugustuhan yung product mo, hindi magugustuhan yung service mo. But again, if you zoom out and reframe your mindset na hindi ikaw yun, it's not a personal attack. It's, dapat nga magpasalamat ka kasi people care. I mean, may time sila, may oras silang mag-type ng reklamo nila para malaman mo kung ano yung what could be better for your business or what could be better for your service, ganyan. So, ako talaga, very now na gano'n na yung isip ko or yung mindset ko in terms of reklamo. Parang okay, I separate my emotions, I separate myself from this. It's not me. This is something that I can improve for the business. Ganon.
I love that, which is always good because feedback is always going to be there. I think there's a huge difference also between feedback, constructive criticism versus just judgmental bullying. Yeah, And those are, I guess, one tip is to understand the difference between the two and be able to identify what's a constructive criticism and what is an attack. Para when you look at things, you can be like, okay, this one I can live without. Okay, bye, blocked. But then also the other one is, okay, I will take notes and I will do better.
Right.
So, yeah.
Is it also the same with content creation world, madam?
I think so, yes. Kasi for example, if I get feedback na, negative feedback but is helpful to me would probably be like, Miss Ayn, hindi ko na nakikita yung mga educational videos mo. Parang nakakamiss yun or sana yun yung pinopost mo. And to me, Even though, syempre, nag-enjoy ako sa mga beauty, fashion, lifestyle videos, when people say na, oh, we miss your old content, I don't take that as an attack on my new content. I take that as, okay, there's a way that I could provide better value, and maybe I should take a step back and look at how I'm creating now versus how I was creating then. And parang, I realized it wasn't from a place of malice. Kasi there are comments naman that are from a place of malice talaga na
Totoo.
people are just so mean and so rude and grabe. And mafe-feel mo yun, makikita mo yun in how they don't really give you an opportunity to prove yourself, or they don't give you an opportunity to answer. They just assume the worst. And I guess that's how I separate the two. Is like, where are they coming from? Is it from a place of love, or is it from a place of fear or hate, or something really negative? So usually when I get negative feedback that's like giving me the opportunity to do better, I always take that opportunity kasi iniisip ko, shucks, like, these people care. Like, at one point they really enjoyed my content, and if now it's not the case, then I want to know why. So ayun, it's just, we're always evolving, we're always learning, and it's nice we get to have that feedback at all. Because imagine if people don't even take time to tell us what they think, then sayang.
Totoo. Yeah, maganda rin yung sinabi mo kanina. It's important to know why they think that way. Kasi minsan kapag lalo kapag yung mga attacks, kapag binabalik mo na sa kanila yung mga tanong nila and ang mga ano nila, parang hindi naman sila nakakasagot ng maayos.
Yeah.
Parang if you ask them, oh, I wanna know more. Why do you think I'm this? Ganon.
Wow, sinasabi mo yun, madam?
May mga, minsan may mga na-encounter din ako na hindi, as in talaga curious ka. But at the same time, parang sige nga, sabihin mo sa akin. Bakit? Bakit ganito yung tingin mo? Tsaka usually, parang caught off guard sila kapag hindi siya retaliation parang tatanungin mo siya, but really, why do you think I should improve on this? Curious talaga ako. Mga ganon. Parang sila, kasi, ganon.
Never mind. Wala na pala.
Anyway, ganon.
So would you say, madam, na now, this is something that you've overcome?
It still hits me sometimes. Let's be real, we are people. Sabi ko nga, it's very normal to encounter fears. It's very normal na bumalik yung mga fears mo from the past. But at least now you know how to manage them, maybe. Kapag ganwari, bumabalik yung mga fear na, ano kayang sasabihin ng iba kapag pinost ko to? Or, alam mo yun, parang mas mindful na ako ngayon na yun yung nangyayari sa head ko. Parang, okay, Riz, you have to stop. We have to pause. Hindi dapat ganito yung iniisip mo kasi you're just helping out other people through posting this content. Ganyan.
Yeah.
Naalala ko nun dati, hindi ako nagto-two-piece kasi hindi ko alam kung anong sasabihin ng iba. Ganun.
Talaga ba?
As in talaga sobrang hiyang-hiya ako. Tapos nung dumating si Josh, parang doon ako parang kasi si Josh siya yung as in super duper kebs to the world. Lagi niyang sinasabi, Riz, hindi ka naman kilala ng mga yan bakit mo iisipin kung ano yung sasabihin nila? Tsaka ano ngayon kung ano sasabihin nila? Buhay mo yan. Ganon. Parang ako, okay, sige, no problem. Ayan, badera na tuloy ako.
It's so nice though. But also, I think in yung topic of gaining weight and like body image, it was so hard, madam. Because you know how I've always been like unapologetic about that. Weirdly enough, joining a pageant ruined that for me. Yeah. As in, like, for the longest time, I have been kebs to the world about body image. As in, like, kesyo, payat ako, mataba ako, I really did not care. But then, when I joined the pageant, which was supposed to celebrate your beauty, celebrate your individuality, that's when I got this fear. I developed this fear of like gaining and looking bigger, and it was so weird to have to deal with, especially where I am in life. Parang ano na ako eh, like I'm in my late 20s, tas dun ko lang siya na feel at this level. Kasi before, like, yes, I would be worried, I would be scared, but at the same time, I was always able to get past that. Pero I guess being exposed in the pageantry scene where you're constantly compared to other girls who are naturally skinny or who have this body type that's not like yours. And syempre, I was the odd one out with my height and my body type. And it was so hard to overcome. And like to this day, I'm trying to overcome it because I realized, madam, na I had this like body dysmorphia na I thought I was big. And now it's been a year later since the pageant. I've gained like 15 pounds since. Tapos tinitigan ko yung pictures ko. Sabi ko, oh my gosh, I was so skinny and I thought I was fat. Tapos parang ako, since when? Like, when did I start feeling like this about my body? It was so weird because I was, you know, I was much bigger for many years. I did this fitness journey that really helped me, and I started it because I wanted to. I wanted to become stronger. But then when I was put in this arena that was just so different and so focused on the aesthetics, parang nawala siya sa akin. So now, what I'm trying to do is, well, basically apply my overcoming fears tactics dun sa body image issues. Kasi it's one of those things na I need to overcome now. So, for example, I guess the number one thing is acceptance. I've always said this na the body is always gonna change. It's gonna change throughout our lives. We're gonna age. We're gonna have injuries. We're gonna have sickness. Well, ako, hopefully in the near future, far future, like pregnancy might be in there. Alam mo yun, like these are things that will just happen over time, and I need to just accept that my body is going to change, period. But also more than that, I also want to focus on action. So instead of focusing on what I looked like past tense and what used to be me and what I used to have, I don't want to focus on those. I want to focus on what I can do, what I like to do. So parang nawala kasi yun sa akin eh. Nawala sa akin yung climbing. Nawala sa akin yung joy of lifting. Nawala sa akin. Alam mo yung mga ganon. Because I lost all of those when I was focusing on something else. And when I focused on the aesthetic, it was just like harmful for the body, harmful for the brain. It was so bad. So now I'm focusing on the action of just taking care of myself. And that's it.
Tsaka can I also just say na we also, lagi natin sinasabi, self-care. Parang, feeling siguro nila madali yun para sa atin. But it's not. As in, parang even as self-care geeks, like Madam Ayn and I, mahirap talaga siya. Kasi, mindfulness training talaga siya. As in. And parang, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, the reason why we care so much about self-care is not because we're so good at it, but because we need it the most.
Yes, totoo. Yun. Ibig sabihin, madalas kapag ang tawag dito, nagda-daily reminder kami, madalas sarili namin yung kausap namin.
Note to self.
Laging note to self yun, mga madam. Kapag mga nagkakwento ako about sleep, ibig sabihin I'm sleep deprived.
It's so funny kasi these things that we learn, we're not even there to preach. It's because we need to remind ourselves. And even now, like, talking about this, it's not so I can teach people how to do it, but it's to remind myself how I used to do it, how I can continue to do it, and how I will be able to do it. Like, it is possible to work through it and come out unscathed or, like, alive. So,
Oo, totoo. Surviving everything talaga. Tsaka, it also is a great idea na ang mindset ang mindset natin dapat talaga with self-care is it should be sustainable. Na we
Yes.
shouldn't be so hard. Wag nating awayin yung sarili natin na ano ba yan, hindi na naman ako nakainom ng 8 glasses of water today. Or hindi ako nakapag-meditate. Maybe because ang gusto ng body mo ngayon is humilata lang at mag-Netflix, right? Kasi alam mo yun, parang it's also part of self-care na protected yung sanctuary mo in your head. Kasi
Yes.
again, ikaw lang ang kasama ng sarili mo 24/7. So, it has to be very safe for you.
Alam mo ba, madam, I saw this thing on TikTok na naman. Ang dami ko nakukuha sa TikTok. But like, there was this girl who was doing exposure therapy. And nakita mo yon?
Yes, siya ba yung nakahiga?
Yung nakahiga lang outside.
Oo.
So, basically, the premise of her exposure therapy is, okay, she'll do something that's hard for her, embarrassing, and you just do it for like 10 minutes. You get used to people staring. You get used to people like giving you weird looks. And the more you get exposed to these reactions, the less embarrassed you feel, the less scared you are for other scenarios in your life. So, wala lang. Naalala ko lang yun because this is something that we do get better over time. It gets easier. It doesn't go away completely, but it does get easier the more you experience it.
Correct. Naalala ko nun dati, hirap na hirap akong public speaking, hiyang-hiya ako mag-podcast. Alam mo yun? Tapos parang ang co-host ko pa si Ayn Bernos, di ba? Parang, I think, ayun siguro, one more tip is that you just have to keep on trying. Kasi you will definitely suck. As in, sobrang weird talaga nung first try mo. Pero as long as you put in the work, as long as you keep on trying, kahit takot ka, yun, 1%, mga madam, 1% progress every time.
Every day.
Nahirap siya, pero laban lang ng laban.
I need to apply that tip to my work as a content creator, madam. Because one of my other fears that I'm working on is losing opportunities because I'm no longer relevant. And it's such a niche fear because it's so weird. Like, if you're a content creator, you make money out of having people's attention. Like, you need to have views, engagement, reach. And if you don't have those anymore, you lose opportunities. You lose opportunities to work with brands, you lose clients. So that's always been a fear of mine. But I like your tip on just working on it, focusing on the work, like even focusing on the 1% improvement that you can do. Because at the end of the day, all of the attention, the reach, the engagement, those are byproducts of the work that you do. So yun nga, parang sabi sa akin, I had this meeting with Madam Yesh, nag-alignment kami. Tapos there's this quote from the meeting. Basta basically nasabi namin during the meeting, and I just wrote it down on a post-it and I have it on my screen. It says, "Let the numbers surprise you," because we don't want the numbers to scare us or like the numbers to tell us how good we are or how good we're doing. But we should just focus on the work, how we do what we do, and then yung byproduct, engagement, reach, it's just a bonus. But value first always, quality first always, and the rest, bahala na yan. So that's why I guess I'm trying to, well, in the past, parang I've been trying to do this like whole content creator thing in a certain way na, I want lifestyle hauls, more collabs, para more exposure, versus now what you want to do is more education. So parang even if like as a person nobody cares about me, at the very least my content will always be helpful. And if it's helpful, it's good enough. Parang yun na lang yung iniisip ko na, okay, like the reality is no one is ever gonna be irrelevant forever. Like we will all have our downtimes, drama is not sustainable.
True.
Like clout is not sustainable, but being able to focus on the right things, the helpful things, that is sustainable. And I think it just really soothes that fear of having to be everything for everyone. And now I can just focus on the work and see, okay, how else can we contribute? And that's a much healthier way to look at it, especially with our line of work. Parang mas nakakalama ako na parang, okay, I don't need to be relevant. I just need to be helpful.
Yes. Helping people as much as we can, however we can, whenever we can. Ay,
Ayun na.
life motto ko talaga yan.
Life motto.
Ano pa? Ako, ano pa bang other fears ko? Right now, we can maybe discuss yung mga fears natin ngayon. Ako, natutunan ko na kasi over time na lahat ng mga problema is figure outable. May mga problema na you can control, may mga problema na you cannot control. So, ang isa talaga sa mga nagra-rise na fear sa akin ngayon is health-wise. Kasi it's just really something I cannot control. Health ko or health ng pamilya ko na parang what if. Maraming what ifs, maraming nakakatakot. But right now, I am trying so hard to live with it na Riz, change is inevitable. There will be times na may mga bagay talagang hindi mo makokontrol. So, I guess, ang isa na lang sa mga pampakalma sa akin is to be ready so that meron kang emergency funds, mga insurances, mga ganun. So, parang just in case. Talagang nire-replay ko talaga siya sa utak ko, madam eh. If just in case may mangyari sa akin, as in, meron akong list ng mga numbers na pwedeng tawagan. Kasi naalala ko noon dati, hirap na hirap akong maghagilap ng ambulance. So, yun, I subscribe to Lifeline. So, Lifeline kasi is an ambulance, So, I have a subscription for myself and for my family. Just in case may mangyari, I have a hotline to call. Parang
so
16911. Yun. Tapos, meron akong annual subscription na
Talaga?
inaano ko
Oh
siya.
my gosh.
Ganon.
I should
Parang,
do that.
yun. As in, ganon ako takot, kaya pine-prepare ko yung sarili ko for that. Tapos, meron akong, meron akong health insurance that would cover me for, kunwari, just in case something happens to me, would cover me 100 million. Ganon.
Oh my
Ganon.
gosh.
So, for hospital bills. Basta ganon ako nagre-replay ako ng matinding-matindi sa utak ko. Para at least alam ko what I should do in case this happens. Ganon. Yun yung, I think that's how I deal with my fears right now. Yung, I cling onto something that I can control.
Yeah, and I mean, madam, that really makes sense. Na parang, if you're scared of something, most of the time, wala kang magagawa dun sa abstract what if. However, you can do things that can prepare you in case that ever happens. So, at the very least, dealing with your fear doesn't have to be all in your head. You can do something tangible about it. And at least that will ease it a little bit, not completely, but it will help. And I should probably do that because that is definitely a valid fear and one I also share. So, okay, noted madam. I will try to do that. Hi. Ano bang ko ngayon besides health? Ay, madam, I guess my fear currently that I am trying to deal with, besides the whole body image thing, I'm already working on, but starting from scratch. I realized that I'm so scared of starting from scratch because I've spent so many years building the career that I have now on the internet, and my fear of trying to be an author and building that other career in publishing and not being successful is so scary to me. As in, takot na takot ako mag-flop on that big dream. Because that's really my biggest lifelong dream. fun fact, guys. The reason I became a content creator is nung I was scouring through like bookstores and I was looking at the Filipino bestsellers and I was like, lahat sila artista. Sabi ko, shucks, kailangan ko sumikat bago ako mag-publish ng libro. That's
So
why.
first checklist mo na yun.
Yes, that's why. Like, gusto ko talaga maging author, but I realized I wasn't getting a book deal unless I had a name for myself. So that's why I became a content creator, because I wanted, my end goal is to be like a published author, to continue to write and have that, pay for my bills. But then, now that I'm in the middle of it, madam, it's so scary because it's such a long, tedious process. And even though I have the following that I have now, it doesn't guarantee your success. It really doesn't. So I'm starting from scratch because I realize the kind of author and writer that I want to be is not a content creator with a book deal. That's never been my goal. My goal has always been to be a prolific writer who's actually good, who people appreciate for the quality of their writing. And I realized that I really need to start from scratch. And it's scary to me because what if I'm not good pala? Like, alam mo yun, in my head, kasi reader ako eh. So in my head, I've always been like, I'm gonna make a great author. But then when I started writing, I realized how much I did not know. And it's terrifying to me. As in like, it's scary to know how much I don't know and how much I have to learn. But how I'm dealing with it right now is, number one, being grateful that I get to do this at all. Because now I realize that diba, we had our 9 to 5, 5 to 9. Before, my 9 to 5 was my corporate job. My 5 to 9 was my YouTube channel and my content. Now, my 9 to 5 is my content. And I'm so grateful that that's what it is right now. Pero ang inisip ko ngayon is 5 to 9 ko naman is my writing. And I think it's great because like I get to do this from the beginning, but also scary that I get to do this from the beginning. But now, instead of focusing on, again, the byproduct, I think yun talaga yung pinaka natutunan ko is to not think about the byproduct, because the byproduct will be the result of your hard work, your determination, what you actually do, the actions that you do. So instead of focusing on, okay, I'm going to be a best-selling published author, the goal now is to just finish a manuscript. The goal now is to just do the writing. And it really eases my expectations and at the same time my fears, because it really brings me down to like, girl, tao ka lang. Kung hindi ka magaling, that's probably like, like something you can improve on. And if it takes you forever, then so be it. But at the end of the day, there are no guarantees. Not even the best people have guaranteed success. So just chill out and focus on the work. And parang when I bring it down to just the work and not my ego and not what I think I'm entitled to, I realize na, okay, these are bite-sized things that I can work on every single day. And hopefully, they will pay off one day. If not, then at the very least, I've done my part and I got to have it as a 5 to 9. So, ayan. That's just how I'm dealing with it right now.
Alam mo, madam, I'm just so excited na balikan tong episode natin to after a
I
couple
hope so.
of years. And can I just say, number one, magaling ka, madam. Please lang. Ano ba? Lagi ko nga sinasabi sa kanya. Kasi si Madam Ayn, eto fun fact, si Madam Ayn, siya yung nagsusulat ng mga descriptions namin and titles. Tapos as in, sobrang bilis lang. Parang mga 30-seconder lang niya tinatype lahat. Na parang, oh my God, paano niya nagagawa to? Parang it just feels like it's so easy for you na I know naman though na it took a lot of years and experiences before you get to do this. But I'm just really excited, madam, na ikikwento ko ang kwentuhan na natin after a couple of years. Oh my God, madam, do you remember one Wednesday ng November, you said, takot ka pa noon, naalala mo ba? Excited na ako. I'm manifesting that for you, madam.
I hope so.
At saka ako, honestly, aside from, natatakot pa rin ako mag-umpisa. Pero na-realize ko na isa yun sa mga thrill ko sa buhay. Kung ang thrill ng ibang tao is bungee jumping, mga ganyan, na parang dun sila parang, I get fired up with these kinds of stuff. Ako, I love starting. I love the struggle of starting. I embrace the struggle of starting. Kasi I get to learn a lot of things. Kasi diba sabi mo nga kanina, you realize na marami kang hindi alam. Ako, ang mindset ko doon is, wow, ang dami kong hindi alam. Ganon. So, isa siguro yun sa mga nagpapa-continue on sa akin in business. Kasi maraming mga times, di ba madam, na I go back to zero. I go back to scratch. Maraming mga times na nazi-zero yung bank account ko. Pero, I keep on telling myself na, at least I know na kung paano ako kikita ulit. Kasi itatahi ko na yon sa another fear in my life na to not have enough money. Kasi hindi naman kasi kami mayaman. Hindi kami opulently rich na pamilya. Pero alam mo yon, parang we have been working so hard, sacrificed so much. Ang dami namin pinagagawa sa buhay. But kapag nag-uusap kami ni Josh, what if maghirap tayo? What if mawala lahat ng pera natin? Lagi kaming nagsasabihan na at least alam natin kung paano bumangon ulit. 'Di ba? Parang hindi na tayo masa-stuck sa notion na parang paano tayo kikita. Ganun. Kasi at the end of the day, ito sinasabi sa akin to ni Josh, pera ang isa sa pinakamadaling problema sa buhay. Kasi what if it's health na wala kang control? What if it's a relationship na wala kang control? What if it's life na wala kang control? So, yun. Mahirap, yes, definitely mahirap pa rin mawala ng pera. Pero dun ako, I guess, nag-cling on to na at least alam na natin ngayon kung paano magnegosyo, alam na natin kung paano hindi madapa ulit, ganun. So, we get to get all those lessons kapag nadadapa ka. Tapos, I would just like to share this, madam, kasi I'm currently reading The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday.
Ryan Holiday!
Yes, we love you, Ryan. Ayan. Eto, ibabasahin ko na lang sa ating mga madam. Kasi sinend ko kasi to kay Josh recently. Sabi doon sa book, if you were to overcome our obstacles, this is the message to broadcast, internally and externally. We will not be stopped by failure, and we will not be rushed or distracted by external noise. We will chisel and peg away at the obstacle until it's gone. Resistance is futile.
Ooh. So, nakapin ba yan sa madam?
Yes.
Sa wallpaper mo ngayon?
Hinanap ko siya sa messenger namin ni Josh kasi sinend ko sa kanya to. So, ayan. So, ganon pala talaga. You will struggle. There will be a lot of obstacles and fears in your life, but you are in this for the long haul.
That's so, I love that.
It's so reassuring. And
It is reassuring.
diba? Na parang, okay lang pala. It's a process. Kaya to. We will chisel away from this obstacle. Ganon.
Yeah. Tsaka it's not something that you can ever not have. It's not something that you can remove from your life. So might as well, accept it. Take what you can get from it. Come out of it stronger.
True.
Ah.
Ganon talaga ang buhay.
Okay, guys. So, reading assignment. Reading assignment natin is Ryan Holiday.
We should have a book club.
Oo nga eh. Ito na yun. This is the book club. So, I'm currently gonna read, Discipline is Destiny.
Bago
It's the
nga
new
ba
book.
yan?
It's the new book.
Oo.
I'm so excited. Okay, but anyway, mga madams, if you have any stories for us, if you have any tips, tricks, treats, takeaways, let us know in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, tag us in an Instagram post. Our ats are at Camp Confidence Radio, at Rizza Lana, and at Ayn Bernos. And if you guys are again listening and you enjoyed this episode, give us 5 stars, please. So,
Minimum.
yeah, tulungan nyo naman kami. But anyway, thank you guys so much. And thank you so much for the opportunity to do this podcast and speak with you every Wednesday. Thanks, mga madam!
Thank you. Bye.
Bye!